GCSE Maths Algebraic Proof under a minute part 2. Let's go. Prove algebraically that the sum of the squares of three consecutive integers is 1 less than a multiple of 3. As we've already discussed before, that algebraic proof questions are never solved with numbers, they're always solved with variables. So three consecutive integers are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's assume first integer to be n, the second consecutive integer would just be n plus 1, and the third consecutive integer would be n plus 2. Now square of this of the three consecutive integers and their sum. So n square plus n plus 1 square plus n plus 2 square, their sum is 1 less than a multiple of 3. So first we have to just expand it. So n square plus, if we expand n plus 1 whole square, that will just be n square plus 2n plus 1. And if we try to expand n plus 2 square, so it will just be plus n square plus 4n plus 4. Now if we try to collect the like terms, n square plus n square plus n square would just be 3n squared, and then 2n add 4n would just be 6n, and then 1 add 4 would just be 5. We're left with 3n square add 6 and add 5, but we have to show that the square of the three consecutive integer is 1 less than a multiple of 3. So we have to somehow introduce 1 less. What we will do is 3n square stays as it is, plus 6n stays as it is, but instead of writing it 5, can I write it as plus 6 minus 1, so that this 1 less factor is considered. Now 3n squared plus 6n plus 6, we can just factor out a 3 and we're left with n squared plus 2n plus 2 minus 1. So n squared plus 2n plus 2 would always be an integer. Whatever value of n we plug in, it will always be an integer, and an integer times 3 would be a multiple of 3. Minus 1 is just 1 less than a multiple of 3. So we had to show that the sum of the squares of three consecutive integers, so the sum of the squares of three consecutive integer is 1 less than a multiple of 3. This is an integer, times 3 would be a multiple of 3, and minus 1 would make sure that it is 1 less than a multiple of 3. So that's how we prove algebraically that the sum of three consecutive integers is 1 less than a multiple of 3. DM proof, and I'll share 5 more practice questions with you.